Hello guys, welcome back to our channel. In this video I am going to discuss about various matrix operations such as matrix addition using nested list, transpose of a matrix, and matrix multiplication using nested lists. First, what are the rules for matrix addition? To perform matrix addition, we must and should have to follow some rules. The first one is rows of the matrix A should be equal to the rows of matrix B. For example, if my matrix A is having 2 by 3, that means 2 rows and 3 columns, and my matrix B is 3 by 3, then addition not possible, because to perform matrix addition, then that matrices should have, both the matrices should have the same number of rows. Second rule is the columns of matrix A should have the equal to the columns of matrix B. That means columns of matrix A should be equal to the columns of matrix B. So to perform addition of A and B, both the matrices should have the same number of rows as well as the same number of columns. Next, what is the output of the addition of these two matrices? If a matrices, both the matrices are having the same number of rows as well as the same number of columns, then output is also the rows of any matrix plus columns of any matrix. So that is, the output is also the 2 by 3. So these are the some of the basic rules we have to check while doing the programming matrix addition. Now let us start taking the matrix A as empty list, because in Python the matrices are represented with the two-dimensional sublists. Now matrix B, this is matrix B. I am going to take the matrix addition, that is result matrix, into the empty list. Now first and foremost, what we have to do, for each and every matrix we have to enter the number of rows as well as the number of columns. For that, matrix A rows equal to integer of input of enter rows in matrix A. So I have entered the number of rows I want in the matrix A. Then next one is the columns in the matrix A. Next, after entering the rows in the matrix A, then I have columns. After that, matrix B rows, matrix B columns. Why? Because for each and every matrix we have the number of rows and columns. Rows, columns, rows, columns. Now what we have to check? We have to check whether the matrix A rows and matrix B rows are same or not. How can we are going to check is, if matrix A rows not equal to matrix B rows, and columns of matrix A should be equal to the columns of matrix B, and matrix A columns not equal to matrix B columns. So I will take this one into the parentheses. So what we are doing, we are checking whether the rows of matrix A is equal to the rows of matrix B as well as columns of matrix A equal to the columns of matrix B. So if anything is wrong, then we are going to get the answer as false. That means matrix addition not possible. Not possible. Let us try up to this one. Now enter the rows of matrix A, 2, columns in matrix A, 3, rows in matrix B, 3, columns in matrix B, 3. If A rows not equal to B rows and A columns not equal to B columns, then matrix addition not possible. It's correct. 2, 3, 3, 3. 2 rows, 3 rows, 3 rows. A columns not equal to B columns. Yes, it is correct. Okay, after writing the else, we can check. Else, what I am going to do, we have to enter the sublist, that is rows into the matrix A. To create the rows in the matrix, what we can do is, what is the number of rows in the matrix A? A rows. Number of rows in the matrix B? B rows. So what I am going to do is, for I in range of A rows, for matrix A, what I am going to do, I have to create the number of sublists here. So that is, I am going to do that matrix A dot append of empty list. So the number of rows are nothing but the number of sublists. That number of sublists are going to be appended into the matrix A. Now after matrix A, we have to append for the matrix B. For I in range of matrix B rows, we have to append the matrix B dot append of empty list. Now let us try to print what is there in the matrix A and matrix B. Run. 2, 2, 2, 2. Look at here. So 2 rows have been created in the matrix A, 2 rows have been created in the matrix B. So number of rows have been created. Now next condition, the output matrix should have the rows of matrix A as well as the columns of matrix B. That means simply what we can do, for I in range of A rows, because A rows and B rows should be same for performing the matrix addition. Matrix, I have taken it as the add of dot append of empty list. That means if you have the 2 rows and if you have the 2 rows in the matrix B, the resultant matrix will also have the 2 rows, that is A rows or B rows. So we have created the matrices and their rows into the matrices. Next thing is, we have to enter the elements into the matrices. Enter elements into matrices. To enter elements in the matrices, for I in range of A rows, that is for A matrix, for each and every row there will be having the respective number of columns. That means those much of elements. For J in range of A columns, that is for each and every row in the matrix A, we have the same number of columns as per this A calls. So for 0th row, that means this one, for 0th row we have 2 elements, for first row we have 2 elements. For that purpose we are using the nested loops. Then again after that I am taking the tt equal to int of input of enter matrix A value, that is I am taking for every column I am taking an input and I am appending that input to the respective sublist. What is the index of this matrix sublist? It is nothing but the matrix A of 0, that is nothing but I dot append of tt. Let's run this one. 2, 3, 3, 2. Matrix addition not possible. Run. 2, 3, 2, 3. Now 2, 3 means 2 rows, 3 columns in matrix A. How many elements? 6 elements. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I haven't printed. I will print the matrix A. Print of matrix A. Run. Look at here. First row with the 3 elements, second row with the 3 elements. That's the 2 rows, 3 columns. So we have entered the matrix A elements. Next, Same thing, matrix B elements. So here matrix B, what we have to take? We have to take the elements from the B rows, B columns and B value, and here matrix B. We are entering the matrix A and matrix B elements. Print matrix A is comma matrix A. Now after entering the matrix B elements, I am displaying the matrix B also. Matrix B is matrix B. Now what we are going to do? We are going to perform the addition of elements. To perform the addition of elements, the result is matrix A rows as well as the matrix B columns, or we can take the matrix B rows, matrix A columns. Why? Because rows of matrix A should be equal to the rows of matrix B. Columns of matrix A should be equal to the columns of matrix B. So rows of matrix A are matrix B, columns of matrix A are matrix B. So that is logic for addition of two matrices for I in range of A rows for J in range of B columns, because A columns are, because both are same. Now what I am going to do? I am going to do that yes, equal to A of ij, that is matrix A of ij plus matrix B of ij. So 0 1, initial I value 0, j value 0, 0 0 element of A, 0 0 element of B, both have been added. Now this value have to be appended to the matrix addition of index position I, that is 0th sublist dot append of S. So print addition of A and B is comma matrix add. Run 1 2 1 2, that means, so okay, 1 3 I will take. Run, sorry, stop, run. So 2 rows 3 columns, 2 rows 3 columns. So let us take that 2 rows 3 columns. A equal to, so 2 rows, so first row, second row, I will take that 1 comma 2 comma 3 4 comma 5 comma 6. Then B equal to, again another sublist, row 1 row 2. I am going to take this 7 8 9 10 11 12. Now A plus B is equal to, what it is going to do? First, this is number of rows and number of columns. 0 0 is going to be added with this 0 0. 1 plus 7, obviously 8. Next 2 plus 8, 10 will be appended. Then 3 plus 9, 12 will be appended. 4 plus 10, 14 will be appended in the 1 0. 5 plus 11, 16. Then 6 plus 12, 18. So the answer is 8 10 12 14 16 18. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Look at here, matrix A is 1 2 3 4 5 6 as it is. 7 8 9 10 11 12. Matrix B is 7 8 9 10 11 12. Addition of A and B is 8 10 12 14 16 18. 8 10 12 14 16 18. That is the concept of matrix addition in Python using the list. Next one, transpose. transpose of a matrix. Or I will go with the multiplication. Multiplication of two matrices. To perform the multiplication of two matrices, we must and should have to take the same thing up to this one. Matrix A empty, matrix B empty, matrix multiplication, number of rows, number of columns in matrix A, number of rows and number of columns in matrix B. To perform matrix multiplication, we must and should follow some rules. The first and foremost is the columns of matrix A should have the same as the rows of matrix B. Then next one is the output matrix will give the rows of matrix A plus columns of matrix B. Let us look into the example. So if we have the matrix A as the 2 by 3, matrix B as 2 by 3, then if you try to multiply A into B, multiplication is not possible. Why? Because the columns of matrix A is 3, the rows of matrix B is 2. So to perform the matrix multiplication, columns of matrix A should be as same as the rows of matrix B, but here they are different. That's why it gives the multiplication not possible. Now if both of them are having the 2 by 3 and 3 by 3, then A by A into B, is it possible? Yes, it is possible, because 3 columns and 2 rows both are same in the matrix A and matrix B. That's why A and B, A multiplied by B is possible. Then what will be the result? The output will be rows in the column. That means 2 rows, and the columns will be in the matrix B. 2 by 3 is the respective answer. That is said that columns of matrix A should be as same as the rows of matrix B, and the output matrix will be the rows of matrix A plus columns of matrix B. Now let us go for the programming. We have taken A rows, A columns, B rows, B columns. If what is the logic we have taken? We have taken that if A columns not equal to B rows, because A column should be equal to the B rows. If not equal means obviously we are going to get that print matrix multiplication not possible. Now let us try up to this one. 2 rows 3 columns, 2 rows 3 columns, matrix multiplication not possible. So it is clear. Now what will happen if we have given the perfect one? Then what we have to do? We have to create the sublist in the matrix. Just now we have seen, that is, to creating the sublist we use this one. So I am going to copy the same thing and I am pasting here. I am creating the sublist in the matrices, matrix A, matrix B, here matrix mul. Now let us try to print the matrix A, mat A, then matrix B, then matrix multiplication. But here you have to remember that the rows of matrix B. Good. Now what is the output of the matrix A into B? Nothing but the rows are from the matrix A rows only. That's why I have taken the A underscore rows for the mat multiplication. Run. 2 rows 3 columns, 2 rows 3 columns. Matrix multiplication not possible because 3, 2 both are different. Run. 2, 3, 3, 2. Look at here. 2 rows 3 columns, 3 rows 2 columns. The output is 2 by 2. 2 rows 2 columns. That means it is fine, perfectly all right. Now what we have to do? We have to enter the elements into the matrices. Yes, it is not at all a big deal. Entering the elements, just simply copy. I am pasting here. So for I in range of arrows, A columns, entering the element and appending into the 0th sublist, matrix A. Then matrix B has been added. So we got the matrix A as well as the matrix B. Now we have done everything. Now the main logic, that is matrix multiplication. Now to perform the matrix multiplication, what we have to do is, so we have to go from the rows of matrix A to the columns of matrix B. That is, for I in range of matrix A rows, for J in range of matrix B columns. So how many times the inner loop have to be iterated? Number of rows in the matrix A or number of columns in the, number of columns in the matrix A or number of rows in the matrix B. That is, for K in range of, what is this one? A underscore columns. A underscore columns. What I am going to do is, I am going to take the M equal to M plus A of Ik into B of Kj. So initially I am taking M equal to 0. Now what does this mean? Why I have taken like this? So yeah, where is this matrix A? This one. So A equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. B equal to 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now if you want to perform the matrix multiplication, this row should be multiplied with the, first element should be multiplied with the row and column wise. Row and column wise. I will draw in the paint. A equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then B equal to 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I have taken here the matrix of A is the 2 rows and 3 columns. Matrix B is the 3 rows, 2 columns. Good. Here this is the 7, 8. Nine, 10, yes, 11, 12, this one. Now this first row is going to be multiplied and added by the each and every element. That means 1 into 7, 0 into 0, 0 into 0, 0. That is A of Ik 0, 0 into 0, 0. And initially I am taking the value as 0. That's why I am storing into the M. Now after that, 1 into 7, what we are doing? After 1 into 7, we are adding 2 into 9. 2 into 9. Then after that I am adding 3 into 11. So initially M equal to 0 plus A of Ik, B of Kj. Initially I value is 0, J 0, K 0. So 0, 0, nothing but 1 into 7. So 7 we are going to get into the M. In the second iteration, what I am telling, a K value becomes the 1. That is 0, 1, 1, 0. This is zeroth row first element, this is first row zeroth element. So m equal to, recently we got the m value as 7. So 7 plus 2 into 9, we are getting 18. So equal to 25. Now after that, again a value will be incremented. 2. So recently what is the m value? 25 plus 0 to 20. 0th row second element into second row 0th element. 2 into 11, that is 33, equal to 58. Isn't this the same as this one? 1 into 7, 7 plus 2 into 9, 18, 8, 2 into 9, 18 plus 3 into 11, 33. So 33, 18, 51 plus 7, 58. For that purpose, I have taken m equal to m plus a of k into b of kj. Now this entire m value have to be appended into the matrix multiplication of 0th row dot append of m. So after every element has been appended, m value will be turned out to 0. Now print of matrix multiplication is comma mat mul. Run. 2 rows 3 columns, 3 rows 2 columns. So 1 2 3 4 5 6. So 2 rows 3 columns. Now matrix B is the 3 rows 2 columns. 7 8 9 10 11 12. Look at here, 7 8 9 10 11 12. Sorry, a small mistake. M plus a. This one not matrix A, mat A, mat B. That is the problem. Again 2 3 3 2. A value 1 2 3 4 5 6. 2 rows 3 columns. 7 8 9 10 11 12. Look at here. The output is 2 by 2. This is the concept of matrix multiplication. Next, rules for transpose of a matrix. To transpose a matrix, rows of matrix A changes to the columns of matrix B. For example, if A equal to 2 by 3, then B output matrix will come into the 3 by 2. So the rows and columns have to be interchanged and those values have to be swapped. The remaining entire concept is same. Okay, transpose. So here rows, I mean empty matrix, matrix A equal to empty matrix, rows equal to, okay, I will copy paste this one. So rows, A rows, B elements. Then after that, what we have to do? After performing the or entering the elements into the matrix A and matrix B, we have to do that. Okay, I am going to take the transposable matrix, matrix underscore trans equal to empty matrix. For I in range of A rows, we have to enter the number of sublists, that is matrix A dot append of empty list. So now this is for the matrix A. What is the result matrix we are going to get? The columns of the row, I mean matrix A, are going to be changed as the rows of the matrix B. That means for our result matrix, for I in range of A underscore columns, because matrix A rows are going to, I mean matrix A columns are going to be converted as the matrix resultant matrix rows. That's why we are going to take the A underscore column, matrix A underscore trans of empty list. Let us try to print matrix A, then print matrix trans. So run. So 2 rows, 3 columns. Mat trans. Okay, sorry. Mat trans dot append. 2 rows, 3. Look at here. 2 by 3 has been changed as the 3 by 2. Now it's fine. We have entered the elements. We have to enter the elements. To enter the elements in the matrix, simply I am copying this one. So what are the elements I want to enter? I am going to enter with the, so for I in range of A rows, then for j in range of a columns, I am entering an element into the respective variable and I am appending that, and I am printing the matrix A. I have printed the matrix A. So we have completed this one. Now what is the thing you have to do? We have to transpose the rows to the columns, columns to the rows. For that purpose, transpose logic. So for I in range of A columns, that means these columns are going to be converted into the rows, rows are going to be converted into the columns. That's why for I in range of A columns, for j in range of A rows, what we have to do? We have to take the some example EE equal to matrix A of J I. Matrix J I have to be get into the EE, then matrix trans of I, that is append of EE. Now print the matrix, transposed matrix is mat underscore trans. Run. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Look at here. Row, 2 rows, 3 columns. Now 3 rows, 2 columns. This 1 to 3 row has been changed into 1, 2, 3 like column wise. This 4, 5, 6 has changed into 4, 5, 6. This is about the transpose of a matrix. Thank you. Please like, share and subscribe to our channel LifeLiyo. Thank you.